Hey now, what is up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB. I am here to do my Justice League spoiler review because honestly there is so much good to talk about in this movie, but it would be spoiler. Let's get the one negative out of the way, or at least the biggest negative about this movie out of the way, because let's try not to pretend like this is the perfect, bestest movie ever. The villain Steppenwolf is boring. I'm sorry, but the more I thought of it, the more I'm just like, yeah, there was nothing to him. Like, I already saw people in the comments for my reviews saying, oh, this or Avengers, or this is so much better than Avengers, or other people saying that this movie is just a low-rent version of Avengers. It's like, well, why do we have to do that? Why do we have to compare the two? Or even, let's save the comparison. Why do we have to do it us versus them? Let's just enjoy both movies, enjoy both companies, enjoy all of these characters. Steppenwolf, though, it's either he was underwritten as a villain, or he was all CGI, so there was a disconnect there. Or, if we're gonna compare it to Avengers, Loki was a great villain, and we already established Loki in a previous movie, and then just brought him over. So maybe Steppenwolf would have benefited from if we had seen him. I'm not talking about the deleted scene from BVS. I'm talking about actually develop him as a character, get to know him more than just a sentence. But even the flashback battle scene where you see him create some of his parademons, him fighting the Amazons, Atlanteans teaming up to fight him, and also a Green Lantern. It was very faint and very much like in the foreground, but we saw a Green Lantern in this movie. I could have done without Cyborg and had Green Lantern a part of the team here. The humor, because I did say in my initial review that the humor was 50-50. Some of it didn't work, but other jokes were great, and I don't want to just assume, right? But I can't help but preconceived information to think that the humor that did work was Joss Whedon humor, because there were some jokes that were just sort of surface level jokes that were either obvious or just jokes that never really made me laugh. Maybe I got some chuckles, and then there were jokes that were smart and really funny. And I said the first half of this movie I was just sort of watching it, seeing the plot unfold, seeing another invasion of the world superhero plot. It wasn't anything too special yet, other than seeing Batman do that cool thing at the beginning where he's going after the one criminal and then the parademon shows up. Like, that scene alone made me want to watch a standalone Batman movie, this version of Batman. Wonder Woman stopping the guys in the place with the bomb. Seeing that was great. Seeing Aquaman underwater finally, and him talking because they had like the bubble over them. That's how they talk underwater. Amber Heard. But it wasn't until they talked about resurrecting Superman with a mother box. That's where I started, like, that's when my eyes lit up and I said, ooh, resurrecting Superman, did you say? Because yes, it's the worst, best kept secret that Superman was going to be in this movie. We all knew it, but they did a good job not showing him really in the trailer, or at least making you guess and wonder how much is he going to be in the movie? Will it just be the very end? It was the halfway point where they dug up his body. They put him in that same thing that Lex created Doomsday with Zod's dead body with, and they resurrected Superman. The moment his eyes opened, the crowd cheered. One guy in particular in our audience was so hyped and excited for this movie. Before the movie even started, he made up his mind that he was going to love this. And that's fine. You could be excited, but there were so many scenes of like he's the only one clapping and cheering, to where people were saying, shut the hell up, dude. Anyways, obviously that was a big moment for him. It was a big moment for me as well. I got excited when Superman rose up and flew to the monument site, and you saw Henry Cavill, just what a specimen of a man. I have to admit that. But it was great to see Superman back. It was. It's one of those things where I know some people will say that they're not handling Superman the right way, that his movie wasn't great, or BVS, he was handled poorly. I almost sort of agree with that. But seeing him back in here, it meant something to me. I felt something seeing him back. I missed him. Him fighting the Justice League. Him like being sort of out of sorts, not really knowing them, and he wasn't quite himself yet. And he beat the hell out of them. Like it was satisfying to see Superman look like a badass, to see how powerful Superman was, to see him use some of his strength and powers and his abilities, and seeing that by himself he could destroy the League if he wanted to. That was great, but it was also a little unsettling to see Superman once again be bad, or once again not look like the hero of hope that we wanted. Even the moment when the Flash runs around and you're in Flash mode, Flash vision, and everything else is slowed down besides him, and then Superman out of the corner of his eye sees him and turns to look at him. That was awesome and yet scary, because you're like, holy crap, Superman is scary in that one scene, and he's so powerful in that one scene. And the scene where him and Wonder Woman are trading headbutts and he overpowers her. Then Batman shows up, and the moment where Superman's like, I know you. You caused this. You won't even let me die in peace. Tell me, do you bleed? And it looks like he's about to snap his neck. Batman had a plan B, a backup plan. In comes Lois Lane, and that's what wakes Superman up, or that's what sort of brings everything back to him. And I love that. I love that she is the only one that could get him out of that stance. And the two of them, yeah, I wish I had more of it. Lois and Clark, I wish I had more of their relationship, more of the love that they had. We touched on it. This movie is only 2 hours. I honestly could have sat there in the theater for another 20 half hour of just more character stuff like this. It wasn't until Superman came into the film where I was all of a sudden rejuvenized in this movie. All of a sudden, like, wow, I'm really invested now. In the trailer, it's the scene that we thought was a dream, because then you cut to her in bed and it looks like she woke up, but like, no, that's all. That scene is real life in the movie, but he never asks her about the ring in that scene. It's like they cut that out, and I don't know if they did that because maybe they'll save that moment for a later scene with them, a later movie, a Man of Steel 2, or if it was just something where the constant chopping and cutting to get this down to 2 hours, somebody put it in the trailer but took it out of the movie. Superman's mustache. For the most part, like majority of the scenes, I guess I didn't notice, and it was fine. But there was probably 3 or 4 scenes where you could tell that his mouth was off, which is fine. It's not their fault. They did what they had to do. It was just something that, and then who knows, maybe if I wasn't aware of the whole mustache thing, that maybe I wouldn't have noticed it. And then let's talk about the 2 after credit scenes. Obviously, Superman and the Flash racing is like the coolest thing that they ever could have done. It's something that, like, I know it's in the comic books. I know they've done it on like Smallville. Even the moment during the battle where the 2 of them are going and then they split up to go save people, and the joke of Superman bringing over a whole building when Flash just saves a couple people in the car. Like that, again, seemed like a Whedon joke. And then the very, very last after credit scene was Lex Luthor breaking out of Arkham Asylum, and you see him on his yacht, and who is there, who shows up to meet him is Deathstroke. And they're talking about basically, hey, they know Superman's back, they know that they're forming a league. Let's form a league of our own. It's like, wow, they're going for it. They're going full force for our next future movies that are coming up. So guys, let me know in the comments below. Spoiler time here. You've seen the Justice League, hopefully by now, if you've watched this. Let me know in the comments below. Spoilers, what did you think of it? What did you think of the return of Superman? What did you think of the villain, the League, each and every one of them coming together, the future of the DC movies? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!